Josh Prodigy, man, and today, and I'm sorry, so what I did was right before I started recording, I hit my freak. I did that thing where you knock your funny bone loose. Like I was backing my arm up, and you see there's a bar right here. So when I backed my arm up, it hit right on that funny bone. That's why it's like I got shook and loose. Dang. But anyway, today is not going to be a reaction. If you see the title, that'll give you the idea of what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But look at peep the haircut, peep the twist that we had, that Ma Dukes put in yesterday. Anyway, now that we get into the video, yes. So we're gonna talk about just what I guess you could say. I wanted to kind of come on here to just talk about, for my wrestling fans, my WWE fans, what in the actual bleep is WrestleMania gonna look like. So I didn't come into this with no type of plan, but I was thinking about it before I started recording, and I was like, yeah, like that's what we can record on today. So I got, I'm gonna drop this on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna drop some other video. I'm recording this today, February 13th. I'm gonna drop a different video, but this video is being recorded on February 13th. But I'm not gonna post it until February 14th. But especially like potentially might even actually post this after SmackDown, because then we may get a little more, or before SmackDown, and then maybe we'll get a little more clarity. But anyway, sorry, waste time. Now I just want to talk about what is WrestleMania going to potentially look like. How I'm seeing the card is, they already have one match official, Jey Uso versus Gunther. They have some potential matches that we're trying to, or that we might see, is maybe Punk and Cody, because as y'all know, they teased the story with Punk and Cody, but I'm one of those people that's thinking I'm not completely sure if they're gonna even go with or we thought they were going to go with Punk and Cody by way of Punk winning the Rumble, but now it's almost looking like, okay, they set it up for Punk versus Cody, and we're thinking, okay, that's going to lead to Punk winning the Rumble, but since he's now in the Chamber, does he win the Chamber and we get that match? Since they wanted to have Jey Uso win the Rumble, and maybe, I think maybe it could also been a situation where they wanted to maybe give the World Heavyweight Championship a little more attention, a little more love, by having a Royal Rumble winner challenge for that title. So it almost makes it feel like a little more important, because not only is it going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, but the man who wins the Royal Rumble, which is an automatic main event of WrestleMania, is choosing that title. So I think it could have also been used as a potential tactic to possibly make the World Heavyweight Championship mean a little more, because now the Royal Rumble winner is challenging for that title, So I guess it could be a way to make the title look a little more legitimate. Now, if you watch my video of how I, just giving my thoughts on the Royal Rumble, I was one of those people that said I wasn't against Jey. It was very unlikely, or I didn't expect it, but it was one of those situations of I didn't expect Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble. I thought that either John Cena or CM Punk was going to win the Royal Rumble, and when Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, it was shocking. And the only reason why I had mixed feelings of it is because I get it. Jey Uso has gotten over. He's gotten himself over as a main event guy. The fans love him. I mean, the fans are literally chanting one more time for him to yeet again. So, guys, I'll have fun with the interest as well. Only thing I didn't like about Jey Uso is I wish sometimes I wish his promos at times were more serious. Like, he didn't just try so hard to say yeet. I wish it was like spending more time actually trying to sell the match or get over our actual point, rather than trying to do so much of the yeeting throughout the promo. Like, I get it in the entrance, but in the promo, I'm like, oh, you would think in the promo we lock in now, say actually make the point you wanted to make. But anyway, side note. But either way, only reason why I have mixed feelings about it is because we've seen Jey Uso versus Gunther, if I'm not mistaken, like 4 times. So, us seeing this match 4 times is really what made me go like, does it? I think to me, it was one of those, it doesn't feel like a WrestleMania match, let alone a WrestleMania main event match, considering we've already seen this match like 4 times in the last year, and Gunther's beat him all those times. So, that being considered and said, that being thought of and heard, is kind of almost making me go like, ah, man, like I wish that we kind of maybe had not done this match so many times, because then I feel like it would. Because think about it, now that we've seen this match as many times as we've seen it, it's probably a situation of like, okay, if we've seen this match as many times as we've seen it, then it's probably a situation where a lot of us feel like it's not really a WrestleMania match. Because what makes certain matches a WrestleMania match is stuff like, okay, if we haven't seen this match, or we haven't seen it much, often, whatever, that's obviously going to make it a little more of a WrestleMania match. But because we've seen Jey Uso and Gunther multiple times, and somebody's going to say, and I figured is the case, but I was just checking something, that's why I was clicking so much. But someone's going to say like, oh, well, that's the story, is that he can't beat Gunther, which is fine, but is that main event of WrestleMania worthy level storytelling? Because remember, they were trying to tell the story that Cody couldn't beat Roman Reigns, but the difference was we had only seen that match one time, so you had reason to believe he'd get the job done. But here, Gunther has beaten him 4 times, I think 3 or 4 times within the last year. So that's why for me with that, it's kind of and it was one of those. We saw the match at Saturday night's main event, and then 2 weeks later, Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble, challenges them again. And it's like, man, we just saw this happen. I mean, they just had a match at Saturday. Like, Cody and Roman, I mean, they had a WrestleMania match. So it makes sense that the rematch, you could get people into being the rematches at WrestleMania. Because the first one they had was at WrestleMania. So basically, big deal the first time, big deal the second time. But here, it's a, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's a side note. We went a little long on that. But I'm thinking maybe they're gonna do it's funny because when I was predicting the Rumble, it was coming down to Cena and Punk, or who I thought was gonna win. But same with the Chamber. I feel the same way with the Elimination Chamber. It's either gonna be Cena or Punk, and I think this may be how we get the Punk match. I can see maybe them doing CM Punk versus Cody to maybe main event night 1, and then Jey and Gunther main event the last night, just because maybe they think even though Jey is not a big a star as Punk and Cody, maybe they think him winning the world title is a big enough moment for it to main event the second night of WrestleMania. But y'all let me know what y'all think on that. But I think there may go I know there's early predictions for the Chamber, but I think I might go CM Punk because of the way they set it up with Punk and Cody. We might get CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, man. I think we could potentially get CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania. Would it be great to obviously see Cody versus CM Punk? Heck yeah. And would it fit the kind of story of, Cena trying to finally win that last world title and to challenge Cody at Mania? Yes, it would, but I feel like they're going to prolong that 17th world title win. And I think, that being said, we might end up getting Cena probably in a non-title match with Logan Paul. I think it's going to probably... I think if Cena doesn't win the Chamber, then it's pretty much confirmed we're going to get John Cena versus Logan Paul, essentially considering they can start up some more tension because Cena and Logan are both in the Elimination Chamber. And when you look at the landscape of things, Gunther is facing Jey. Drew is most likely going to face LA Knight. If you guys have been seeing LA Knight and Drew, they actually have thrown a few shots at each other on Twitter. And also, there's been those dirt sheets reporting that they had some issues. And, LA Knight was trying to get his stuff in at the Rumble. And then he referenced that in his promo on SmackDown, did LA Knight. So, I honestly am more interested in seeing like a LA Knight and Drew. Even though John Cena and Drew would go crazy, as Drew's been pretty much, other than like Gunther, the world champion, has been like the best. I mean, he was, other than my boy, the final boss, The Rock, other than him, Drew, if we're being honest, was the best heel last year in all of WWE in 2024. So it would make sense that you would want Cena to go against a guy like that. So if we don't have Cena win the Chamber, I see us having a John Cena Logan Paul match, because what other top heel is there for John Cena to face? Drew's most likely going to face LA Knight because they've been building that up on a line and offline and stuff. So I think we're going to get that. Kevin Owens is most likely, if we're not going to do Cena and Owens at Mania, I don't think anybody's clamoring for that. Randy Orton is probably going to be the one to face Kevin because of that story of him putting him out with the power driver. I think we're probably going to get Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania because if y'all remember when they were building up their match, I think what happened was it took place at Crown Jewel, and the match took place at Crown Jewel, but remember, it never got started. They never actually started the match. Now, I'm trying to think, is that the last time we seen Randy Orton, or when he got power driven? And I think because the power driver, I think it was this. I think Kevin Owens took out Cody Rhodes, which then led to some tension with him and Randy Orton. And then I think after he power drove him, was that it? Or did he power driver? I forget what order it went in of like when they did the Kevin Owens Randy Orton match. Did he power drive him by that point, or was that after they had their first match? I forget. Nah, I actually gotta check real quick. I can do it on the computer, but I'll check here. Trying to think real quick, like. Because I wonder when he delivered. That was the last time we saw him, right? It wasn't. So November 8th was when he power drove him and sent him out on the stretcher. And then Crown Jewel was earlier than that, I know. Yes, okay, I was correct. Okay, yeah, the last time we saw Randy Orton, he got power drove by Kevin Owens. Okay, I was trying to remember the match they had scheduled at Crown Jewel that never got underway. I was trying to think, well, did that happen before or after he power drove? Because that would make sense to build up that match. Okay, so he got the last time we saw him was November of last year. So we haven't. It's wild to think, even including in the Royal Rumble, it's wild to think we haven't seen Randy Orton in 2025. It's crazy. As we are, we're not like deep into it, but crazy to think in 2025 we still have not seen Randy Orton. But anyway, almost like that funny bone loose again. Anyway, that's why I don't think we're gonna see Cena and Kevin. I don't think anybody's really interested in running that match back. So as far as heels to face, that would make sense for John Cena. Logan Paul's the last option. So if he doesn't win the Chamber, I think we're going Cena Logan, bro. And I don't know who will win that match, but I definitely do think we're gonna get John Cena versus Logan Paul, which I would be interested in, but I don't know, some people may not, but I actually personally would be fine with that. So I'm just trying to I think I'll title this video as like, what is WrestleMania 41 gonna look like, or something like that. I think I'll title this video because it's really just me spitballing matches I think are gonna happen at Mania. Now moving over to the women's side of things. Maybe we're going to get Tiffany and Charlotte. I feel we're getting. Tiffany's a great athlete, pretty good in the ring, and Charlotte obviously is good in the ring, so I think we're going to get that match. A lot of people like me said that, she shouldn't have had to win the Rumble to get there, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, Charlotte's better as a heel anyway, so it's fine that people are booing her, even though she tried to tell her sympathetic 14-month out injury story. But I was like, bro, I think the reason why they booed Charlotte is because they know her struggles aren't legitimate when it comes to the booking. Like, she suffers through legitimate struggles as far as her injuries go. But every time we see her in WWE, as far as when she's getting booked on WWE television, there is never any real doubt or struggle that Charlotte Flair will get back to the world title. So I think that's why the fans were booing her. Is because it's not like we're not expecting Charlotte to get right back up to the top. I mean, she literally came back. And in her first match back in 14 months, wins the Royal Rumble. Like, she's already like 14-time world champion. Like, I feel she's probably going to actually end up beating Tiffany, but we'll get into that later when it comes. And Rhea Ripley, world heavyweight champion, not world heavyweight champion, women's world champion Rhea Ripley is seeming like maybe we're going to get her versus... I think we're going to get her versus Bianca, because for those who don't know, this past Monday, Rhea gave Io a title shot on the Raw after Elimination Chamber, which is kind of weird because we know that's going to be a good match. So why not just put it on the Chamber pay-per-view or PLE, considering we already have the Chamber matches official? So this is about the time to start making actual matches that are going to be on the Elimination Chamber card. I think that would be the right time to actually start putting matches that are going to be on the card past just the chamber matches. That would have been a good match to put in there, but they decided not to do it. Did the Monday night after chamber? That's kind of weird. And also making it looks weird on Rhea Ripley, because why would Rhea Ripley purposely pass a chance of being on a PLE by giving her a title shot the Monday after? But anyway, so I think at WrestleMania we're probably going to get Bianca and Rhea. That's a big match that we haven't seen. Both females are leagues ahead of where they used to be. For those who don't know, like Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair both came up from NXT and both have been a success, a main roster success in the top females of this current era of the women's division. They've been the top females. So a lot of story they can tell there. I don't know if Bianca, I don't know if they just do face versus face, or if Bianca maybe gets more heelish or something like that, because Rhea's the new flavor of the month, not of the month, but new flavor that the crowd likes. And Bianca's been a face longer, so maybe they do Bianca versus Rhea. That's going to be a big match. It's going to be a good match. So I think maybe that's where we're heading there. And then the last thing I wanted, like, you know, little side notes, maybe Intercontinental title is going to be a multi-man match, maybe like Braun Breaker versus AJ Styles in a singles match. I would love that, but they're probably going to do like maybe Braun Breaker versus, maybe like, I see maybe a fatal four-way of like Breaker, AJ, Penta, and Sheamus, and maybe Sheamus pins somebody to win that title. Maybe if whether it's Braun or not, I feel like maybe that's how they go about it. Maybe Sheamus beats. Maybe that's how Sheamus wins his Intercontinental Championship. He does it at WrestleMania in a fatal four-way. And maybe he pins Braun, maybe he doesn't, but I don't know. I feel like that may be there. U.S. title, it would be cool to see both brothers, the Usos, go after singles titles, because Jay's going after the world title in the main event of Mania, and it'd be cool to see maybe Jimmy Uso go after the United States Championship, but I feel like him versus Shinsuke does not feel like a WrestleMania match. Even if they built it up pretty nice, I still feel like on paper that doesn't really scream WrestleMania match, so I can see them maybe doing a ladder match there or something like that. Maybe like it's Melo, Andrade, Jimmy, Shinsuke. I feel like they're kind of gonna pack that up with some mid carders and maybe make it a ladder match. Maybe it's funny because both mid card matches I'm thinking of no singles matches. I think it's just mainly because Shinsuke to me is not as relevant as he used to be in like 2017-18. I feel like the train and bandwagon for Shinsuke kind of is long gone. So that's why I'm not really interested in him as U.S. champ. So it would be a hell of a sight to behold if both brothers became mid-card or became champion. One as a mid-card champion and the other one as a world champion. So that'd be kind of cool for them. And I would be interested. Jimmy's pretty good on the microphone too. I mean, he doesn't have the yeet, but, you know, he's pretty goddamn good on the mic as well. So I wouldn't hate him being the U.S. title. I think that'd be awesome. But last thing I want to discuss is that leaves us with the last like pretty top guys that we know for Rock, assuming he's not going to be there, which leaves us with pretty much Roman and Punk or Roman and Seth. So I predict, I know they're kind of saying reports that are saying maybe they're going to do Roman versus Seth versus Punk in a triple threat. I personally, again, this one of those, on paper it sounds nice because it's top names. And they do all kind of have issues with each other. Punk and Roman have not really expounded on their issue as much, but Seth and Roman and Seth and Punk, we know for sure they don't like each other. Punk and Roman, they still got a little bit of tension that doesn't really warrant them wanting to throw punches at each other. So they're not really as... So you could make a case for the match, but I personally would love to see either Roman versus Punk or Roman versus Seth at WrestleMania. But... maybe we see a triple threat. I just don't know what it would lead to, right? Would it lead to one of them getting a title shot? Would it lead, because those are all former world champions, so it's almost like, what would that lead? It would have to, I just feel like the triple threat, if they're going to do it, it would have to lead to something. It would have to lead to somebody getting a world title match, because God done, two big names like that you just beat, you know, that warrants something, you know, a reward. I mean, God done, Roman and Seth, or Punk and Seth, or however who wins the triple threat. You know, that's big names, all former world champions. So I'm not sure how it looks, but I will say WrestleMania 41 has been kind of all over the place as far as just like what fan speculation is or what matches we're gonna see. But that's what happens when you have a lot of top stars. It makes WrestleMania a lot more unpredictable. But I do feel like we do need to start, especially maybe after Chamber, we get a little more clarity on what we can expect, what matches we're expecting to see at Mania. Because this is around that time, especially when they get to the Chamber. Like this is definitely around that time that we need to be building towards WrestleMania. It's going to be in April, I think April 19th and 20th. So, yeah, Chamber is going to be on March 1st. So, definitely by that point, we need to start already knowing what matches we're going to see. So, anyway, love and appreciate you guys. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think WrestleMania 41 this year is going to look like. I'm just giving my potential predictions just to kind of clear up some of the confusion in the community of what WrestleMania 41 is going to look like. I kind of wanted to come on here, say what I thought was going to be on the card and what I thought of it. And I will say Roman and Punk and Seth, that would be crazy because they're all faces. So there would be no heel in that triple threat. So I don't know who we would really supposed to be pulling for. But and again, there's nothing on the line. So that's why I'm kind of not as big of a fan. I'm not gonna like hate on it, but I'm not as big of a fan of a triple threat than I would just be Roman and Punk or Roman Seth at WrestleMania. But anyway, at the end of the day, what can I say? It is what it is, and what it's going to be is this Product G continuing to come out with the content bitches, the bangers for you guys, and I shall see y'all in the next video. We're going to keep grinding and keep going, but I shall see y'all in the next video. Y'all comment down below, like, comment, subscribe before you go. Shall see y'all in the next one, because that's the vibe that DJ is on, and we on cool vibes only, because no matter what, we keep it going. But see y'all in the next video, man. Peace.